Hey everybody, welcome to the GMG review. Today we're taking a look at Warmachine, the two-player starter set from Steamforged Games. Crazy how quickly after their announcement, we have a brand new two-player starter set in hard plastic for the first time for Warmachine. For Warmachine Mark IV, actually still being worked on by Warmachine creator Matt Wilson and Jason Souls, but now under the banner of Steamforged Games. So what's in the box? Well, let's have a look, because this box, interestingly enough, is continuing a trend right now in the industry of being a starter set that you can't actually crack open and play. So without some steps, getting further and further down the Christmas morning testing. So what's in this box? Well, in this box, you're going to contain models for use in the Warmachine tabletop miniature game, but also required is 3 6-sided dice, a tape measure or other measuring device, and a handful of tokens. Those aren't super defined. You will also need to get the app for Warmachine on Google Play or the App Store to download the free app to find rules, model stats, abilities, list building tools, and more. And that means that what comes in this box set is some model kits, some terrain, interestingly enough. You get 2 water features and 4 walls in hard plastic, which I was actually really impressed by. The fact that they included those. Bases, and then 2 30-point recon groups for Khador and for Cygnar. So the Cygnarans are going to get Deuce, a Warjack, Lieutenant Alistair Kane, the Black 13th, and a character solo by the name of, oh geez, Major somebody. His name is Captain Bastian Falk. It's Major Alistair Kane and Captain Bastian Falk. On those frames. So these are all in hard plastic, and it looks like the sprue makes only a single type of Warjack. There's no variations here, as well as Kane. So Kane and his personalized Warjack come on a single frame. Everything is nicely lettered and numbered, so I assume that when the building instructions are available, that will help me to build these. I haven't built these yet because I got 404 errors on this sheet right here, which is the only piece of paper that comes in this box set. We have steamforged.co/start playing Warmachine. I just went to a 404 error so far, and then get the app. I searched for the app and found it. That link didn't work either. I assume that stuff will be up by the time this stuff hits retail, hopefully. But it did mean that if I didn't have my phone, or if I got this as a gift and was maybe a kid, didn't have a phone, I would need some help probably getting this stuff put together, as there's no instructions included in the box. Now we also get some Assault Commandos, a new character to me. He might not be new to the rest of you, but I had not heard this name before, and I played Khador for a while from the Winter Corps Army, by the name of Captain Zahara Vilkul, Captain Zahara Vilkul, and then Razor, their personalized Warjack, which is right here. And then you get a solo Sergeant Goran Lazarenko, and the Hounds, which are some Assault Commandos that come on these frames as well. So Black 13th frames, from looking for things, are Assault Commando frames, Razor, and then the remaining character models. So there's our, there's a mustache on Sergeant Goran there, I'm pretty sure, and his cool big rocket launcher. And so those are our frames. So 3 frames for Khador, for Cygnar. No, 2 frames for Cygnar? Yes, 2 frames for the Cygnar and 3 frames for Khador. We get some appropriate bases, pretty standard base sizes, 30 mils, 40 mils, and 50 mil, I think, for the Warjacks. And that's it. So it's a starter set in so much as it gives you the miniatures that you need to play the game. It also gives you some terrain. You don't get a measuring device, you don't get any dice, you don't get the rules, and you don't get any instructions to build it. You do get this beautiful poster with 2 of the Warjacks on there. And that's it. So very little print material. And now here's the thing is, I do understand that. I do understand that in a world where things are constantly changing, and especially in a game like Warmachine, which historically has a habit of changing the rules quite often, not having printed copies of the rules means that they typically tend to stay around longer. The problem I have is I would be more excited to read the rules if I could do so, one, not on my phone or a screen, And 2, if I could at least have my miniatures built first. You can't screw these miniatures up because they only build one way. There's no variant warjacks. You only build the warjacks that are in here. There's no variant characters. There's no way to like customize your units to make this wrong. So I think at the very least, just having the building instructions in here, they're not going to change those miniatures. And then not having dice. Like, give me some cool Steamforged dice. It keeps the cost down in the box, I understand. I would rather do without this and have dice and a range ruler. Like, even just put dice on this frame or some kind of measuring stick. 2 less walls and a cool little handy ruler. Or some type of like quick play printed on here. You could do a poster quick play thing that's just here, put down your miniatures and here's how an attack works. The original Warmachine starter sets had a poster set of rules in them, and that was what we played with before the rule book even came out. I do think you could have something in here on the off chance that someone gets this as a gift and isn't digitally minded. It just feels like a little bit more would make this actually a starter set. So I would say this is a cool collection of miniatures. It's a starter set in so much as that you could play a game out of it, but there's a bunch of steps to take afterwards to get you there. And for the price point, I would just like to have just the instructions to build the miniatures. Like, even just that, I think I would feel differently. But the fact that it's stripped all the way back and that any interaction with the stuff that comes in this box is gated behind these QR codes, I just found a little bit frustrating. And I understand that part of my experience is that these websites aren't up yet, and that I got a copy of this in advance before it's available generally to the public. The app, however, is available. I was able to, like, this is on the App Store right now, so this QR code just goes to a Steamforged link that isn't up. I don't know why that app wouldn't be available now, but it just isn't. And to start playing Warmachine, I mean, you're promoting this thing. I don't know, like, have the instructions ready to go when you're promoting it, even just so people can see the miniatures and how they go together. That feels like part of promoting it. But even regardless of that, like regardless of the fact that these QR codes didn't work, I struggle to see how the cost of being able to open this and at least interact with the physical miniatures isn't outweighed by having like one more piece of paper in here. I just want to be able to put these together. If I was never intending on playing your game whatsoever, and I just wanted to build and paint these miniatures, I still need to go into a digital area to go and do that. Now, quality themselves, hard styried miniatures, fantastic. They're all numbered and lettered, great. I can probably build these without the instructions just because everything is lettered and numbered. So like A1, A2, if I just count these sequentially, like there's A1, it's a foot. I can probably figure out how to put these together just by counting A1 through whatever the highest A number is. Looks like 12. And then starting counting the B's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can probably figure out how to put this thing together. There's nothing telling me how to do that though, except for having built hundreds of miniatures in my 30 plus years of having built miniatures, right? I would have to intuit all of that, and there's no real instructions available for me in this box set. So yeah, I'm not super excited about the digital gatekeeping. I like standalone products. I like a product that you can open and it passes the Christmas morning test of giving me everything I need to play the game right out of the box. So while I think the quality of the miniatures is really high from the looks of them, and the product offer as far as like 2 30-point balanced lists, because that's the last thing I should talk about is you do get 2 balanced lists in here. The 2 forces are each 30 points. They appear to be exactly what you think they are, which is a winter, I'm making some errors here, a winter core skirmish with the captain, Razor. So you have a battle group. You have a solo, a single unit, a single warjack, and your captain. That means that game terms wise, you get to interact with all the different types of things in the game. I like that. That's a good division of forces. Both sides are balanced and they mirror each other, right? 1 unit, 1 solo, 1 warjack, 1 warcaster. The app itself, there's a training guide, which is pretty great. So the training guide is, again, in the app. It allows me to look through how to do everything. It's basically a quick start into reading the rules. And there's the actual rule book itself, the Mark IV Warmachine rules. it's all like linkable. It's all hyperlinked, so you can go and click on something to go back and forth between where you were at the beginning in the order of contents, and then to like the Warcaster entry, so I can go and see what a Warcaster is. It's well parsed. It's still reading stuff on a phone, and maybe I'm just old, but that's not super duper for me, and that can be a problem for people that want to get into this stuff, because it's fine to not have everything that you print get out of date, but there are certain things that when you release a game should probably stay the same for the duration of the game, and like separating out your core rules to a game versus your cards and your metadata that can like change and get altered is probably fine. You could probably print the core rules and not have them change. They're probably not going to change. They seem like a safe thing, or even just like a stripped down set of your core rules, have them in print. And then you can have your unit cards and stuff be driven through the app. There are formats you can follow that make sense, I think, industry-wide that you could follow to do this. So while I am excited about the offering of plastic models, I do think that if this is your first go at it and you're a brand new people having a license to Steamforged Games, I would like to have seen more. I would like to have seen a complete product that was both it was a digital offer and a physical offer. They didn't do that, so I don't know how many of these I would put under the Christmas tree, in so much as there's steps after this box set to play. I like a box set for an introductory starter set that you don't need anything outside that box to play with. So my personal opinion, if you're going to give Warmachine a go, you're probably already slightly familiar with it. That means you're probably more likely to be of my generation of tabletop wargaming hobbyists than not. I think this might be, it's not a miss because the miniature quality is really high and the app seems really high, but if you're trying to rebrand yourself as the new Warmachine, do something new and have a great quality starter set. Even the starter sets from Privateer from like back then, I think they had dice in them. They had dice, they had even tokens. They had a generic token set for your focus and status effects and stuff like that, because I have a ton of them still. So this feels like less than what we got the last time we got a 2-player starter set for Warmachine, and more of a push towards, again, that digital app thing. And there is a subscription for the app as well for $6.99 a month to make more than one list or something like that. There's like additional features you can unlock. So there's like a free version and a paid version of the app. It's like driving towards that app ecosystem. So yeah, I'm excited to give it a go. Jordan and I are going to play it. He's going to paint the Cygnar stuff. I'm encouraging him to paint it in a cool, different way. I'm going to paint the Khador stuff, and I'll paint up the terrain as well. So you'll see that in the next coming weeks. And we're going to give Mark IV a try, but we're only going to use the new stuff. We're not going to use any legacy stuff. We're going to leave Mark III as its own thing and keep playing that, and then just interact with this as its own, on its own devices, give Steamforged a chance to put this stuff forward basically as its own product line. And try and shake that out as its own sort of like different thing. So really cool miniatures. Wish the starter set was complete. Wish it was existing in both a digital and a real space. But if you want to give Warmachine a go and you are more digitally minded than I am, this is a good place to start. You probably have dice and tokens already if you're an old Warmachine player, so you probably don't need those either. But you might have wanted them. So who knows? We'll see. Big thanks for Steamforged sending this along for me to check out. If you guys were watching, we'll see more GMG reviews in the future. Till then, I'm Ash. Have a good one.